Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Her. Today was a crazy day in the market, and Friday is going to end it with a bang. We're going to be talking about CPI data. We're going to be talking about SPY, QQQ, and kind of what to look out for tomorrow. But first, before we get into that, if you want to join our UVH community, you can join our Discord. We got a Discord. You can text me, and you can join our trading group on Facebook, right? So you want to connect to us further? You like what you see here? There's a lot of ways to the community. I mean, we love each other. We talk every day. We share ideas. It's great, right? So let's get into kind of what's going to happen tomorrow. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you. Tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we're zooming in right here. We are going to be getting that CPI. So the Consumer Price Index, core CPI monthly, Consumer Price Index year over year, core CPI. I mean, so we're going to get the gamut. And the reason why this is so important, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people are talking about this, but I don't think you are really understanding why this is important, right? The reason why it is important is because the last time, so in March, we had 8.5% inflation, and then in April, we had 8.3% inflation. So we had a 0.2% decrease. And everyone was like, hey, this is going to be the top. We're cooling down. We're hanging out. We're probably going to chill here for a while. And that's why there's a lot of expectation for that to kind of level out, cool off. However, the White House came out this week, and they've been talking about today, and Yellen came out today, that high inflation is here to stay. They're preparing for a higher number. So they're kind of like, that's kind of why the market reacted the way that it did, is because everyone's saying, brace yourself. So I don't know how bad it's going to be, but I mean, we obviously know energy is way up. I mean, we know a lot of sectors in terms of what they're measuring are way up right now. The question is, are they slowing it down, or are we going to jump from like 8 to 10, 8 to 9.5, 9, anything? So we had a 0.2% decrease, but that was after we ran. I mean, if you look here, we ran from, it kind of cooled off here at 5.4, cooled off at 5.4, and then we went all the way up to 8. I mean, it was insane. It was insane, right? So that is why this is going to be very, 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 very important, because one, we're going to know the truth. The White House, they already know what it's going to be, and obviously they are concerned and don't care what they say. I mean, they're blaming it on all sorts of things. Right now, it is what it is. You can blame it on whatever you want. I mean, politics is a huge blame game, right? But in terms of the market, we just care about what the number is. Like, you don't cloud your judgment. The price is what the price is. The number is what the number is. The number is either going to be the same, higher, or lower. There's no in between. And the question is, what does the market do about it? And this is the way that I'm starting to see the market for tomorrow, and this is how I'm going to go into trading the market tomorrow. But first, the key thing that I want to point out today is that we've been chopping. This is SPY, right? We've been chopping sideways, and I made a couple videos about this. 8 straight days, right? And we've been holding the 10-day moving average. This blue line right here is the 10-day moving average. We've been holding it. This is the first time we've held it in a long time. And then today we broke below, especially like on SPY, it's a little bit more obvious. On NASDAQ, it was kind of defending the 10-day, which we'll go over there in a second. But SPY, I mean, it tried to push above and immediately got whacked, right? And then, I think what happened was, towards the end of the day, we had a little bit of choppiness. This is the 15-minute chart here. We had a little bit of choppiness, and then everybody just kind of ran for the hills. They're like, hey, I'm not holding into tomorrow because this is going to be a disaster. The data is going to be coming out before the market opens tomorrow. We don't know what it's going to be. Everyone's preparing for it to be bad. Maybe they're preparing for it to be bad and not to be as, the report's not going to be as bad as they say it's going to be, or maybe it's going to be worse. We don't really know, but either way, let's take the risk off and kind of realign our portfolios, because you could always put the trade back on. Like if you want, you could put a trade back on. You want to buy something, you want to short something, you could do that at any single time. You don't have to hold to the report. I definitely don't suggest holding through the report because you don't know what it's going to be. It's like trading earnings right now. Like, do we know if it's going to be good or bad? No, we don't know. So why would I align or why would I risk my portfolio for something that I'm not sure of? And that's, I think, what happened here. We just kind of traded water all day. And then eventually this thing went, SPY went from 410 all the way down to 401, closed at 401.44. Basically closed at the low. This is just embarrassing after, everyone was like, oh yeah, we're going up from here and, CPI is cooling off, everything's going to be fine. But the way the price action was today and what the White House has been saying is like we're in for some trouble here. We're in for some trouble. Nasdaq is the same. I'll go over the QQQ here. Today it actually was holding, like I was trading a little bit here when it was holding it above, and then it just got similar situation. Just got dismantled. It had a little bit more of a rip than SPY. Like the S&P really struggled today. It was just kind of trading. It looked like the Nasdaq really wanted to kind of rally here. Went from 305 up to 308. It looked like it was gonna push through. Then it just was consolidating here, and again just got smoked. But for what I'm in anticipation for tomorrow is like when that report comes out, the stock market is gonna be crazy. And we've been seeing in terms of like when CPI has been released in the past is like what eventually will happen is like the bulls just start buying, and then we rip straight up, but then we level out and then it goes straight down. So like for me, the biggest thing tomorrow is to not get trapped, not to get sucked in, whether you're bullish or bearish. I don't know which way the market's going to go, but I need to let price tell me. Tomorrow's all about being patient and not losing money. And that's the goal. And if you're not sure, maybe tomorrow might not be the best day to trade. Let's just be honest. We're going to have a lot of volatility. Things are going to go up, things are going to go down, and people are going to lose money. The question is, are you going to be one of those people? Like for me, I'm going to try to reduce risk as much as possible. Like I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the report and what price things are going to be, but right now Qs are sitting at 299. If we pull up the S&P futures here, are we going to be testing? Are we going to be breaking 4,000 right here? Right now futures are up a little bit, but after getting dismantled today, 4 points on the S&P is not great. 12 points on the Nasdaq is terrible after down over 300 points on the Nasdaq. It's just horrendous. The price action right now. So, I definitely think we're going to see some very, 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 very wide candles tomorrow. The thing is, are you going to get trapped? Like, you got to do whatever you can not to get trapped. Let it shake people out and then start to enter trades. So like first thing tomorrow morning, ready to open. Sure, before open, the report's going to come out. But when open happens, when people start making those adjustments, take it easy, take a deep breath, maybe even take the full first 30 minutes off and say, okay, I'm not going to trade the first 30 minutes. I'm going to relax. I'm going to take it easy. Because this thing, could easily, we could pop back up. It would be like an inside day, or this thing could just, it could just crater. But I'm expecting a big move, especially after we consolidated all 8 days. Most traders are expecting a big move to the upside or the downside right now. Obviously, the downside is winning because we had a big, thick candle down today, breaking out of this little box that we were in. We just kept stacking inside days upon inside days, and eventually, like today, it came lower. People ran for the hills once they kind of realized that we were just we were just treading water, and then this thing just. Everyone's like, hey, I need to get out of this situation right now. We don't know what the report's going to be. Let's sell. So tomorrow, I'm going to be extremely cautious. I urge you to do the same. Let's not blow any accounts. Let's stay green, and let's try to end the week green and not have any casualties, all right? So if you watch this to the end, let me know. Stay safe, stay green. I'll see you tomorrow.